everyone, welcome to Not Your Grandma's Opera. So today we're actually going to do a makeup look, and this is Nicholas Vasquez Gerst, who is a tenor and my roommate, and also knows quite a bit actually about makeup in general.
Yay.
You've done stage makeup before,
I
right?
have done stage makeup. That'll be a story for another time.
So he kind of knows all this stuff about makeup. He does my makeup all the time, and it's great because I don't have to do it. So today we're gonna do a makeup look for, what are we gonna do a look for?
It's gonna be your basic glam makeup. Lots of neutrals. It's basically gonna be your makeup if you're doing a recording, or if you're doing an audition, or if you're doing a YouTube video. It's just basic glam with a little bit of, there'll be a couple little special things sprinkled in.
Yeah, so we'll do stage makeup another time for you guys so you can see how crazy that is. But yeah, so we're gonna get started here, and Nick's just gonna tell you what products we use and how he does it.
So first off, we're gonna start, and some of these things I'm gonna do I'm gonna put on Fallon's face. Some of the things I'm gonna have Fallon put on her face just because it's fine. First, we're gonna use this E.L.F. Poreless face primer, and I'm gonna fingers and then have her put it all over.
This really helps if you get acne.
It does. Also, it's just a good base for foundation and things to stick to. We're gonna start with eyes because in the words of the drag queen Willem, make a big mess on the eyes and then clean it up with a makeup wipe and then move on to the rest of your face. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let this dry. Products will all be listed down below, but also if you don't have any of these products, I'm very much of the school of makeup that if it makes a mark on your face, do it, you know.
These are just products that I have, well, he's actually recommended them to me, and I've tried them and I like them.
You want to throw some charcoal dust on your face? Do it.
Glitter? Go ahead.
I don't recommend it because it's probably not good for your pores, but like if you want to look crazy and look like you I don't know, face plant inside fires, have fun.
It's a look.
Okay, we set down the primer, and then this is Maybelline New York Coverstick in the shade Medium Beige. This is Fallon's contour stick. We don't have like specific eye primer. Eyeshadow will have something to stick to. Just put it all over her eyelids. She's looking crazy. And I'll use that later and put it on like her under eyes and stuff. But right now I'm just focusing on eyes.
And my pimple.
And then I'm also now gonna set down some Maybelline New York New Master Fix setting powder. It's a loose powder. I like to just set down a loose powder under her eyes to catch out any fallout. The eyeshadows that we're using right now aren't like crazy fallout, but we want to make sure we catch, which luckily we're doing this before we do foundation. But if you're going to do foundation first and then eyes, it's good to set something down to catch any fallout. Because the last thing you want to do is do all that work on your foundation, and then you get blue eyeshadow, and when you try to get rid of it, you either wipe away your foundation or it turns your foundation blue. So I'm going to take this knockoff beauty sponge, which actually is where is this from?
I think that's the E.L.F. one, right?
So this is an E.L.F. beauty sponge. It gets to like 3 times the size when you get it wet. I prefer this to the beauty blender sponges because beauty blender sponges are a lot harder than this. But I'm just gonna tap this in. There, so you can see they're blended in. And then now we're gonna be using Nude Medium by HUDA Beauty. I'm gonna take this shade right here. I'm gonna put it all over the eyelid. Fallon talked about me knowing a lot about makeup. Literally, I'm also an opera singer, so when I decided I wanted to be an opera singer professionally, I decided I also wanted to learn about as much as I could about backstage stuff as well. So I watched so many YouTube videos and so many other different resources to be able to learn how to do what I'm doing right now. I've researched how to make costumes, I've researched how to make wigs, I've researched how sets are made. But this is the one that I did the most on because it's the stuff that's most readily available. And I've done makeup professionally for operas before. So, like at my alma mater. See, laying down like a nice brown. This is a warm tone brown, but there's also some not warm tone browns in this palette. But I think it's good to set down the most neutral that you can. If you're using a warm tone brown though, try to use other warm tone browns as you get darker. So I'm going to go back into this palette, and with this shade right here, I'm going to do the outer corner and go into the crease. Make like a soft, winged look. A lot of the times it'll start looking crazy at first, and it's very round. I don't do well with getting like a really sharp line to begin with. I'm gonna show you a trick. Another trick that I learned from the drag queen Willem, who showed it. And you just take a makeup wipe and you cut a sharp line. Fallon has smaller eyes, so I never try to focus anything dark on the inner corner part, because the more dark it is in the corner, the smaller your eyes are gonna seem. Because especially if you're trying to pack on color, tap, don't swipe. And another thing that I always recommend, and go back in with this first color right here, and I'm gonna take this big fluffy brush. I think it's meant for the crease. If it's not, it's gonna be. But other drag queen tip from Adore Delano, you can't tell me Adore Delano is not a woman. You think you're done blending? Keep blending. I'm just gonna blend.
You're never done blending.
You're never done blending. Okay, so look, close your eyes. See, this, it's blended. I'm gonna blend some more though. Turn back this way. And like right now, one eye, the blending went a little bit higher than the other eye, but it's okay. Because you know what? Just like your eyeliner and your eyebrows, your eyes are sisters, not twins. And then I'm gonna go into this Morphe 350 palette and take this shade, apparently the lightest shade. I'm just gonna take a little bit of it and just pat onto the very, very top. There's a little bit of separation between your eyebrow and the eyeshadow, a little bit. Also, when I do this, I tend to get eyeshadow in her eyebrows, which is fine. Fallon has very defined eyebrows that are very dark. I'll go through and brush them with a spoolie later and add in a little bit of brown shadow just to define the ends, but not make her eyebrows look like beach. I have eyebrows. Okay. So that's the basic for the top of the eye. I'm gonna go in now with a makeup wipe and clean it up. Brush away all that excess powder. So, and let me take this. This is the same brush that I did the powder. I'm just gonna brush some off. And then, whoop. Now, you take this makeup wipe. I like to wrap it around my finger. And then I go from the corner of her eye and I just pull up towards her temple. Get the little excess that's right here. You look at her left eye, that line's a lot sharper versus her right eye. Close your right eye. See how it's all blown out and it's really far, and then this one, that one, it's nice and clean. Just do that with a makeup wipe and do the other eye. Another thing too is Fallon's eyes are small. Fallon also has hooded eyes. There's space underneath her brow bone for eyeshadow, but the eyeshadow on her actual eye, I usually don't focus eyeshadow there because when her eye is open, you're not gonna see it. And it's also why you don't do she could do a full wing, and there's ways to do it for hooded eyes, but her eye, when we do eyeshadow or eyeliner, we're only gonna do the outer corner because it's also gonna help it open up her eye because she has small eyes, which is fine. Back to the cover up stick. So what I'm doing right now is technically called underpainting. Take your damp beauty sponge and tap it all in. This is another thing too, when you're tapping in, or when you're trying to blend in, cover up, and stuff like that, tap. It's the same problem that you will have if you are doing eyeshadow and you swipe, is you can take off all the work that you did. So don't do that. Next, I'm gonna take MAC Studio Fix Fluid foundation in the color NC16.
FYI, I don't like this.
She doesn't, but here's the thing.
I don't like liquid.
She's gonna be on film because
That's the issue. I don't like.
She's gonna film another video after this, and so I think if you're on film or if you're doing auditions and stuff, you should definitely go with this and then set it with a matching powder. This is NC16. This is NC20. A friend told us to go darker in the powder because the powder shows lighter than the foundation does because the foundation is liquid, so it will oxidize. Tap, 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 tap.
Y'all know what he did right now?
Fun times. I literally just put foundation on her eye.
That already has makeup on it.
That has makeup on it that I was literally the whole point of doing the eyes first is to so they don't get messed up.
I feel like you're squeezing my head together.
I'm gonna fix this really quick. Go dry.
It's a nude.
Fixed it. Enough. Yeah, I fixed it. So I don't do liquid contouring. I do liquid highlight and underpainting in like the concealer areas. Now I'm gonna take the matching foundation, take the matching powder. I like to tap in because same thing with the swiping. We don't want to remove any of the stuff that we just put down.
It doesn't feel like feet
Look
with
up.
belly hair.
Fee, by the way, for anybody wondering, is Fallon's cat. Our cat. I have adopted him as my unofficial son.
He has the softest belly.
He does, because he's a cat.
And we've said often that we would like to make makeup brushes out of his belly hair.
Because it would be so nice.
It really would.
So that's all set. Now, I'm gonna go in with this Smashbox palette. Get this brush. What I'm gonna do first is we're gonna contour. So we're gonna use, as you can see, we're hitting pan on this one, but this shade and this shade, and we mix them together. You just contour in the normal places. Another way so your contour doesn't get too intense is you brush away from your ear towards the corner of your mouth because the darkest concentration will be up here, not down here. Fallon has a heart-shaped face, and so I don't want to take like contour too far forward. So I usually only go from like baby hairs to like center of the cheek. We're gonna contour the neck and the chin. And I try to just blend it down as much as possible to make it look very natural. If we were doing stage makeup, it would be a lot less natural. Like when I do my stage makeup, it's literally, you can see a line and then a line. And then contour. And do a little bit at the temples, a little bit at the very corners. I don't put a lot of contour in Fallon because Fallon doesn't either, because Fallon has like bone structure. She also has this very tiny chin that comes to a point, and it's very nice. If you have a person who is like me, who has two chins, as you can see, or if you have somebody that has a weaker chin, you might need to be a little bit more deliberate with how you're placing the contour. Smashbox palette as well, the shade right here, and it's a powder highlight shade that's matte. And then tap the powder on the nose, a little bit above the lip on the chin. And I know for a fact I'm gonna put some highlight, like actual shiny highlight, because there's a lot of powder. Blush. This is the Milani powder blush in Love Potion. I do the same thing with blush. A lot of very old makeup thing is like, oh, apples of your cheeks. That's a look. That's also a thing that you can focus on. But if you're trying to do like some basic glam, I do the same thing. I try to not focus it all on the apple of the cheek because it puts the focus right here in the center of your face. Make sure to really tap it off, but just a tiny bit on the tip of the nose, and I tap it. I'll tap with my ring finger. Your ring finger is your softest finger, and just tap a little bit. So it looks like there's a little bit of color, but she doesn't look like she's Rudolph. All right, so there's that. I am going to do the under eye to match the upper part of the eye. But what I want to do first is
to throw the foundation across the room.
The Studio Fix powder, take the beauty sponge, and I take some of that on there. Look up. And I use it to really set in the under eye. The thing is with the under eyes really want to crease. And by setting it in with this powder, but with a damp sponge, it just helps really bake it. That's no wake. So now I'm gonna go back to the Nude Medium palette by Huda Beauty and use the same, this same medium brown shade. This is really basic. You can go in with like every color used up top. It's doing a lot though. Tap off any excess, look up, and then you're just gonna use it and just do the very outer corner. I don't ever, the most, I'll do it today. I took it to the center on here. Look at the camera. I took it to the center for under eye in here because it helps marry what you're doing up top, especially if like her, you're not gonna have like winged eyeliner. You marry the bottom so it's all one cohesive color. You can do this with all of the colors that you use, but like I said, I'm just doing something really simple today. Ooh. Also, make sure if you're doing someone's makeup and you're gonna do that, I've done it before where I've gone to like pull her eyebrow up just to like get into that space, and I've had like black on my thumb, and then she just has like a black thumbprint. So now we're gonna use, this is a Wet n Wild color icon in the color Black 651. Okay. And we're gonna do her eyeliner, but like I said, we're not gonna do a full eyeliner all the way out. We're just gonna basically smudge it on the outer corners like a V. Like a V. It's gonna help open up the eyes, but it's also not gonna darken and bring everything in. Turn this way. Do you see the difference? A little bit of smoke. Open your eye, look that way. Both eyes. Also, that's a really easy way to achieve a little bit of drama without doing like a full wing. Also, I'm lazy. Also, she has small eyes. My little trick that I like to do is I like to put something, besides highlighting, I like to put something shiny on the very inner corner because it helps open up the eye. So I'm going to be using, this is from KVD Beauty. This is Tesoro Gold. Il mio tesoro. So taking a small brush, this is basically like putty or like paint. So you want to use very little. I actually did a sugar skull makeup for Fallon for Halloween this year. And basically did all the decorations with gold instead of doing it with like black. Okay, and then I just pop it on the corner of the eye. I'll do the same over here. Now look. And it's subtle, and even if nobody sees it, it's something that just helps the eye open. And the last thing that I'm gonna do before a lip is I'm gonna take this brush, and this is Morphe High Impact Highlighter Illuminator in Extra. It's like a champagne color. Actually, speaking of that story where I did makeup for an opera, we were in Pagliacci with Opera San Jose, which was super awesome. And we're friends with the makeup artist, but the makeup artist, because I've worked in makeup before, asked me if I would be willing, while singing in the chorus and covering a small like page role, covering a small villager role, if I would be also willing to help transform the dancers that were on the show into clowns for technically what is Act 2, what is the one act opera, for the second half of the opera. And so what I would do is I would perform Act 1, go downstairs, take everything that was my costume from the waist up off. I had like a shirt that I kept there that I would put back on. I would help the dancers get into their clown makeup, and then I would take all of that stuff off, put my costume back on, and go and finish the opera. That was crazy, but this is something that Christina, who is the supervisor on the show and designer, who told us about the eyebrows, that she, that was my closing night gift, was this highlighter. But I love doing makeup. I love watching makeup videos, everything, throwing makeup. But I'm not a person that I don't ever wear makeup unless I'm in a show. And then even if it's like I'm on stage for 5 minutes, I have MAC foundation, contour, everything on because I'm the most. So using this highlighter, we're gonna take this brush, tap off any excess, and then just gently glide on the cheeks.
She also picked a perfect color for me.
It is also a perfect color. It's a very nude, it's a champagne highlighter. I also love to put some highlighter on the upper lip just because once you put your lipstick on, there's a little highlight so it looks like your lip is a little more plump on the top. One thing I forgot that I'm gonna do really quick, I'm gonna take this little brush and those same contour colors, these two contour colors out of the Smashbox palette, get a little bit. I'm gonna have Fallon tuck in her lip and I'm gonna put a little bit of contour down there because it makes the bottom of your lip a little bit more pouty. Another thing I need to do, as you can see, Fallon's eyebrows don't need anything. If you get eyeshadow in the eyebrow and it's like white eyeshadow or light eyeshadow where it makes your eyebrow look dusty, you can dust it out with a spoolie and then you can put in a little bit if you need it. Fallon has black eyebrows, so even on stage when we do opera, Fallon doesn't even fill in her eyebrows. I don't need to, but I do, because like I said, I'm extra. I always do this wrong. And just take the little spoilie and just get any of the excess powder out. All right, so I'm done with what I need to do. Fallon's gonna throw on a quick lip. I could do her lip, but she does her lips better than I do because they're her lips.
I still don't do them very well. FYI.
Do you want me to do them?
Doesn't matter to me. You gonna tell them what you're using?
Yes, I can. I'm lining her lips with Kylie Cosmetics Candy K lip liner. Being honest, it's the one nude lip liner that Fallon has.
It's also really good.
It is really good. It's a good lip liner. And now she's going to fill in her lips with, so this is the KVD Beauty Everlasting Liquid Lip in Lolita. This is literally one of my favorite lipstick colors. So everybody, that's it. That's this. This is the basic glam makeup for Fallon. Good for auditions, good for YouTube videos, good for competitions.
So this is the finished look. You know, it's great for auditions, just being on stage, not like stage like with lights and stuff, but like, you know, if you have like a little cute little gig at a bar or something, it's great for that, you know, stuff like that. So I hope you liked this video. We're going to do some other makeup videos, of course, for stage makeup. I don't know what else you want to do, but we can do other makeup ones too. We have lots of fun colors we can play with. So if you like it, please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one.